and Chad to get it underway.
Yeah, tell your friends. Cancel your plans. Get your pets on the sofa.
It's a good Monday night.
This is a solid Monday night. We get Counter-Strike history being written for this best of one.
Yeah, and I really love Mirage, right? They touched on it there, but we really want to drive this one home. It was 0-7 for Vitality on Mirage since the addition of the two Danes and, well, the coach of Zonic over there. Then, in the third map, in a 2-2 game against Mouse, just to get here to the Major, they had to win on Mirage 16-13, and before that, they took on Na'Vi, 16-13 loss, FaZe, 16-14 loss. So they've been putting a lot of work into the Mirage, but both of these sides, well, with Astralis players, have had issues on this map, picking it up and bringing it into their map pools. But here we go, underway.
Oh, man. A blend of some former rosters, Magisk and Dupree, Zonic, all departing from Astralis and now clashing with former teammates Zipex, Glaive, flashes over, Blame, at least blind, but in. Zipex completely smokes off, a nice deep short smoke there. Masuta on bench is not going to go down, a bit shy of the mark is Blame. Dupree already has stamped his mark on the site. It's Config's turn as he does post 1 on the USP. Already, numbers heavily favoring that T side as it's 4-on-1. Glaive's only just about arrived, and that kit unlikely to be needed or used. Already catches a goosh to the dome. And with 1 HP, a convincing opening out of the Vitality squad.
Yeah, keep it simple. Dupree with 2 massive kills. Masuda with the same. And Apex to finish it off, taking down Glaive. And guess what? ZywOo still yet to die. So let's see how long this little game can go on, as we do get a little bit of a technical timeout here to get into round number 2.
So ZywOo, we're keeping track. He has... did he take any damage there? That's the question.
I think he was unscathed.
There we go. 100 HP. I'm pretty sure he was juicy.
Yeah, well, he's trying to hang back.
Yeah. So far at this major, he has taken 90 damage total.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive stat line to have next to your name. And look, as Jacob said, it's very, very well. No, it's not very unlikely. He will die this game.
Yes, Chad, we can say that with conviction.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was doubting it when you said it.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
This was coming out of my mouth. I was like, have I just created a monster here? But
cast
no.
a curse. No.
It will not be a warm-up game like both of these teams had to start the day. Vitality a 16-1 victory over Complexity, and Astralis a 16-2 victory over IHC. So it's not like they had to work, but at least they're warmed in. They're familiar with the setups. You know, they're going to be feeling themselves going into this matchup here because there is so much on the line.
Oh, gosh. Whether it is for the 2-0, you want to talk about ego. You
I
want
like the pride aspect of this.
I think pride is the juiciest of the two. I mean, both teams, you know, on many's pick them for the next stage of competition, but this head-to-head, this is the first time. I'm sure you'd have heard it over at the desk, but to reiterate for those that have just joined us, this is the very first time we've got to see Astralis versus Vitality ever since the change and the departure of the trio to Vitality.
Just a bit of a headset issue there, but has been sorted, and we are getting this one back underway. But in the meantime, if you want to buy a ticket, scan that QR code, head over to the webpage. They paused again on us.
Yeah, 19th to the 22nd of May at the Sport Palace in Antwerp. Come hang out, get a nice chocolate bar for your way home.
They
Gift
got
for your
waffles
mother.
around here.
Lots of waffles. And good mayonnaise.
I have been exploring.
Have you done the Belgian mayo?
No.
Are you a mayonnaise man?
I'll eat it.
Okay, yeah. A hot fry and Belgian mayo is...
The fries here have been great so far.
Oh, yeah.
This is only the second day I've been here.
I do need to go for a proper explore.
The beer is also a bit of an option.
It is. There's, I think I had a beer that was 500 years old that was made by monks. I don't think
500 years old, made by monks.
Yeah, but the beer itself that I was consuming, I imagine, wasn't 500 years old. But the brewery,
the way that they brew the beer,
the technique.
I see.
You know, I kind of got to really put myself in the shoes of a man walking around in the 1500s.
How did that feel?
Well, it was basic, I'd say.
Yeah. No telephones?
Basic, not much going on. No WhatsApp.
Yeah, nothing really.
No, you just kind of walked around and spoke to people.
Yeah, you had to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
You didn't really have a choice. Well, guys, as you can see here, we are just sorting out the issue.
Now, we have Devilwalk, of course, talking about Farley, and he's taking the role of that of Lucky. There was a lot of kind of uncertainty and murky waters regarding Lucky's tenure at Astralis, how long he was going to be there. But a lot of the results and the response since Farley's integration into the roster does seem to have enabled, like, it doesn't necessarily look like he's performing out of the realms of lucky, but his presence has facilitated the others to be more impactful.
Yeah, he's definitely an upgrade. But I think just having him as more of a stable force, because Lucky had that whole situation where like even Glaive did the primary AWPing over him for a while. I remember breaking down the stats of how it went for poor Lucky throughout that period. So it hasn't been the easiest of times for Astralis to get their act together, but they definitely have. The last couple of events they've been stringing together some good results. They've settled on having Trace now as the full-time head coach. He was there on a bit more of like a trial basis. They had put Ave down to the academy team, and now they've removed Ave and they've actually brought Modi in to coach the academy team over there for Astralis. And obviously we had the chopping and changing on this side. Masuta has been the issue, I would say, at least as far as the numbers go with the team, right? He hasn't been cutting the mustard in that regard. Zaiwu obviously had that period of time where he wasn't looking too hot to trot.
No, but I think it is very easy to understand where Zaiwu went. It's not like he forgot how to play the video game. It was the same human being playing the video game, but we know how everyone that's played Counter-Strike understands how much it is about the speed by which you're processing your information, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of factors, right? Yeah. Language being one of them, structure being another. Yeah. New coach in the mix here as well, right? Having Zonic come across, I'm sure he wanted to bring some ideas of how things worked in the best team of all time.
The way Zonic, I discussed it with him in the elevator briefly. I was like, I didn't know where to put you guys. I didn't know what to expect. Zaiwu went missing. How have you found him? Have you brought him back? And yeah, just summarizing it as saying we initially tried to bring the best of Astralis and mix it with the best of Vitality. He even said we tried to play like the Vitality, towards the tail end of 21. Sure. It seems that the actual answer is it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
And I mean, no surprise, that takes time. So we are ready to get our second round underway. Headset issue resolved. T side for Vitality, and they are coming in with a lot of rifle heavy. Good grief, up against the Deegs. So it's going to be a big achievement if you can see Blame or any of these Deegs in the feed early. Gets info already. Apex there and knocking on the door. Zipex to be tested and warded off.
So stack towards B here. They're coming into this.
If Farley could rack them up, it seems like they didn't like what they saw.
No, they saw enough, didn't they? Back and forth they go. Connector presence now. The rotation is coming on in thick and fast.
Oh, yeah, they are quick to this. Look at this. Look at this line charging back towards A. It was just Glaive on the site. He's now gone, but plenty to take his place. A lurk smoke, 2 of which have been dropped here. Oh, well, Shadow betrays Config on the slightest of gaps. Utility hailing over towards CT, and it should enable a plant. Masuta's going to go uncontested on that.
Should be a save here as well. If they can get away with these upgraded pistols, armor, and the scouter to be good. But Dupree's heard this. He's already heard them in kitchen, and he's hunted.
Oh, Zip just crossed. Dupree up against his former squad mates. And now just trying to do as much damage as you can. You really will be playing for the next round of play, making it softening in the blow of these saved rifles. Scout 2 Deegs.
Oof.
He's not going to overcook it. He doesn't want to lose his AK-47.
Yeah, I think that's quite valuable here to hold on into the next. But that was interesting that it went so rifle heavy for Vitality there, and they all went through middle. So they wanted to take those type of fights. Quite clear indication by the way that they approached this round. But found a safe haven up through connector, able to get some space on the site. You can see Astralis trying to get their claws in and dig on into hunker on down. But a nice conversion there, and now it will just be these 2 Deagles and the Scout carried on through to give it a second crack, a double dip with the Force. Config and Glaive likely just to stay with these USPs.
I am going to keep track of it, because so far, I mean, yes, they did end up on A, but we've seen very early leans from Vitality up through mid and short, and of course through the apartments in that pistol. Wolf, run boost for Mathieu. Gets himself up at the front of the pack, and not in any hurry. Farley's Scout smoked off.
Identified where that is quite early here. One of the USPs of Config bounds his way up in towards the vent room here, so a lot of presence towards mid.
No one in short side. They do get up, but Glaive has miraculously pulled a double headshot out with the USP. And
undetected.
Yeah, completely undetected. Config's not only got the bomb, but he's behind. A rifle. Oh, problems. Apex not ready for this. And another one, potentially. Dupree saves them, but already pandemonium in round 3. Supposed to be a second bite of the Force by Cherry, and now a 2-on-2 with AKs to be scooped. Blame has full control of the explosives, courtesy of Config's handiwork.
Well, Magis has just hit the brakes right now. It's on to Farley to see if he can lock down this market position here as dupreeh pushing on through a tight angle being held from Farley, but he's just going to walk into this AK. What a shot!
That hurts. dupreeh down, and Magis doesn't clear his corners. Astralis pull one out of the hat. That is naughty.
And it was the USPs, right? Glaive's USP gets the opening right there. Config, yeah, sure, he didn't use the USP, but just hiding up and towards that vent room is able to thread the needle between two of them. Apex trying to come late up catwalk here.
Oh, yeah, and I think that's ZywOo's first death on the replay.
There it is.
He's like, oh, what's happening to me? What? Oh, my screen. I can't play anymore. What's happened? Unfamiliar for him, but there it is. The first death of ZywOo's major. Farley whips out the AWP into round 4.
I want to just build on what Devilwalk was saying, especially about BlameF. The core that was the driving force for Astralis on this map was the way that BlameF and Config would approach this map. Now, Zipex and Glaive have had a bit more time to be able to come to terms with how they want to approach it, and having Farley in the mix here makes things a little bit easier.
Well-placed flashbang does force Farley off the line, but they're too late. Already the bodies are dropping. Blame strikes. Farley's there. And now attention drawn towards the apps, rightfully so. 2 there, and now scarpering. Pulls a bit more utility out. That was the penultimate smoke. One more on Glaive.
Going around the world here, they do have dupreeh park top middle, and they have smokes to lob out towards A. So if they, I was going to say, wanted to try and feign and execute and allow dupreeh to work with some space here, they could, but splitting up, going to make life a little bit more difficult here as Glaive's pushing.
Yeah, Glaive maybe has that advantage onto Masuta and just brings the fight to him. Completely pantses him, and they are looking to get a spotless defensive round here.
I feel like it's a save at this point. There's no way back in, especially now that Apex has been smoked on off. I think they might just take the B apartments and apps and just chill on out for the next 25 seconds of play. Astralis looking to level things up to 2. And 2 AKs retained is the best that Vitality are going to have to work with here going into the next. The question mark has to be, do they want to force around this? Masuda, ZywOo, Magis, they have no money to their name right now. They can invest into some Tech 9s and some utility into the next round. And it's also a positive that Vitality do have a little bit of residual utility in the hands of Apex and dupreeh that they can use in the next. So I guess there's a positive of not getting to use it.
Yeah, it makes a round out of the next. We'll see what they can get done with that. But yeah, otherwise it is just going to be some chump change for the 3.
It's crazy to think that they kept going into this map like time and time again and kept getting blanked. And I was starting to have conversations about maybe they should look to bring Ancient into the map pool because it's a new team and Mirage just doesn't seem to be working. And then that breakthrough game against Mouse. The fact that was the 3rd map in that best of 3 series just to get them to this event, right? And they had to break that loss streak of 7 on the trot. Like, you were going up a lot, up against a lot mentally there if you were Vitality. And they have taken a time out to discuss their options through here.
And you know the prep for this potential head-to-head will have been thorough.
Yeah, I think if they were to simulate any of the potential matches coming up, this would have been the one that you would have seen and gone, okay, well, let's make sure we spend a little bit of extra time here just focusing on this potential matchup.
I mean, just at least outlining where you think the veto is going to go. As a best of 1, the first head-to-head, Farley still back on the AWP and those saved rifles. Let's see what Apex and dupreeh can get done here, because it doesn't look like dupreeh's slowing down. He's just going straight into the mix, off the flash and a messy spray. Config laughing at him. That was dupreeh's every day of the week, and now one of their 2 rifles gone. And oh, a gallery for Config. Finally, Masuta will sit him down, but the damage dealt. Apex, the other rifle, and okay, Masuta's got a lovely dig on him, and not expecting Apex. Glaive falls, Vitality recover. Look at the speed by which they take this site, surging through connector. The rotate slow, and nice from Zipex, nearly aware of that second. Magisk was just playing around the edge of the smoke. Zip to relocate, and it's Farley late. Back into play, and what a shot out of Apex!
Jeez!
A slither! Off angle, elevated, and he still gets the shot.
Well, here he is, the clutch minister. Early 1-on-2 here. Does he want to flow with the idea? You saw him take a couple steps forward. Now with Swarm Magisk, he's going to step on out. He goes down a 1-on-1 now against Apex.
He has a smoke and a kit. Apex on the default box. Should be Apex every day of the week. No idea. Absolutely no idea. And as he pulls the smoke out, played to perfection from the leader of Vitality and not losing a point of health in the process. So with just the 2 rifles, they managed to make a round out of it.
Yeah, I think I have to turn to Masuda here, though. His 2 kills were key. The shot onto Config was massive, but that connector kill that he gets onto Blame is like rolling out the red carpet to allow Apex to scale quickly up connector. That's what caught the A-site player completely off guard, because the death in connector happens, and Apex is already there taking the fight in towards A. So that was massive work from Masuda there. Great showing from him.
Config back into the hidey hole he did so much damage with. On their eco. Ineffective Molotov means ZywOo is going to reside behind the box. An element of surprise perhaps momentarily, not so much anymore. Apex, the late arrival through underpass. It's Masuda with the presence towards Apps. Dupree with a scraped knee. The only damage to report.
Bomb's now up towards the B apartments here. If they did want to consider a B execute, they get the 2 pillar smokes down. Config will be disconnected from this by being up in the vent room. Apex now through the underpass. Dupree still residing behind the top mid boxes, and Config needs to be very careful as a nade scuttles down and lands on the toes of Apex there. So 2 players extremely softened up here for Vitality as they set their sights on this B set piece.
Yeah, Dupree's got the cue to start to maneuver. And this flash is up short. Going to try and draw CT attention away. Oh, great find from Blame. And he gets away completely unscathed. However, B, defender down and space taken. There's one more to get through. Damage onto the side of Config, and he has fallen to the hands of Magisk. Kitchen occupied, but you can see a debate. They back it up. Not interested in that. Farley sticking around. Blame and Glaive still in play. And Bomb now ticking in the favor of Vitality's 4th. Apex even working on a lovely late mid.
It's too quiet over towards B right now, so as he clears out short, that'll alleviate all of the pressure, and then the question is, does he want to go for the hunt right here? They could really punish Astralis. It is early, right? You would be risking giving up a couple of your guns over. They didn't have the best of buys coming into this round. There was some Galils in the mix, and still one was in the hands of Magisk until he upgrades into that M4. And they're very sketched on out as they do try and escape. Want to make sure that they hold on to all these goodies up in towards the vent room. Bomb will go on. 4th round now converted for Vitality. And the save. The loss bonus isn't built for Astralis to donate too much. Right? Maybe a FAMAS they could drop on over. An MP9 if they wanted to go for the buy here. That's going to be the big question that has to be asked and answered right now by the Danes.
I've always admired Astralis' ability through all of the last year and a half of roster turmoil to just still be able to deliver at the premium that's expected of them. Well, Vitality are here. Former Astralis members and new ones too. ZywOo wants a Farley to keep things level. And it's quick towards A. A different look now, another page. Config light on the weaponry, just a deagle for him and Zip. It's up to Glaive and Blame for long-range contributions. Oh, and that's a big duel to win. Speak of Blame, finds Dupree, and it's Glaive as well. Good for it onto Tetris. ZywOo spotted out, half health as well. The flash is good, but turned. Config posted. ZywOo, another victim, and this one has fallen flat as a pancake. It's not even Tuesday. Backing the hell out of there, and well, going to continue to see these boys trading blows. It was one for ZywOo. Was that his first? It was indeed.
Yeah, so he's on the board. I guess that was a counter of a different variety. But that pace change right there just got completely denied. Farley not blind for that first kill, able to get the scope on in. Big frag to find it, and the rest just kept on coming. And Magisk having a bit of a look around here, seeing what he can find. Hasn't just conceded to the save right now. Okay.
Oh, it could have been gorgeous had it popped. Just, I think, an inch before the floor. Nice try, nice tag, but Config sticks around long enough to hit it on the scope. All right, just a single round in it. Astralis keeping things level, and this one does look like it's going to be less than ideal.
It's very back and forth, right? This is how it started off for the BNE game that we had a little bit earlier against Fours in the first half. And then I think the same thing with Outsiders. It felt a bit more back and forth in the early stages. But then one team separated themselves from the other, right? And were able to run and really just shut things down quite quickly. Dupree has armor and a Glock, so he needs a donation. What are you going to give him, Mr. Apex? Thank you very much. Get himself a P250,
wow.
so very generous.
You shouldn't have.
It's my
Thank
favorite.
You.
Well, at least he gets something. Would have been a little bit more miserable just to have a Glock in hand here, but Magisk, he might be given an AK over if he just walks on in, and he will. So, Dupree, if you want a gun, you can go find one. Here we go.
Of Farley.
He's going over to go pick that one up. And Farley, look how far away he's already rotated. Has that kill, he's back in spawn, heading over towards the B bomb site.
I tend to imagine those maneuvers are at the whim of the AWPer themselves.
Oh, especially with spawns. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You call that, right? And then your in-game leader will structure the defense around that.
But you can see that Farley, yeah, willing to take those initiative-driven plays. And oh, the crosshair was right there for a fight with Apex had he mantled the bench. But he's going for a real cheeky one. What? They have no idea. They're right next to each other. And now on a reload, no less. Complete stupid counter-strike in front of us now. And there's more. Apex this time put on the floor. Zipex should have nothing to say about it. So we've got Dupree and Masuta now already into A. And the bomb will be planted uncontested. If they could get that smoke CT, they'd have a bit less to worry about. But now they know. And it's just Dupree. Another hectic spray. Another on for the 1v3, using that smoke now to reposition. Don't forget it's Farley, so just a sidearm from him. 12 bullets. 12, and he's got to time this right. Blame is so patient, so stubborn. Dupree confirms it. Knows this one close, and just the USP for a quick headshot out of Farley. Astralis will equalize, tying things up in a pair of frags for Blame and Farley.
Yeah, open and close that round, Farley. So great stuff from him. And that one, yeah, look, it almost got out of control, but it didn't feel like it should have, right? It was really good work from Astralis here. That exchange over towards Connector, when that smoke was thrown, it actually hit Glaive in the legs. So they heard the exchange, and I think that's why Apex thought he was on the other side behind the regular spam spot. Still got the kill out of all of it, but getting a little bit chaotic now as we do tie the score back up at 4-4. And having to take a bit of a step back here, Vitality. Just into pistols and a scout. Apex loves the in-game leader scout. It's almost his signature weapon here on these low buys.
And yet I've yet to see an Apex scout pop off. Blame's cancelled the plans for one today. Okay, Dupree's Deke is always one to be feared. Blame F not willing to be fearful in the slightest. Takes the fight, takes down Masuta, his partner in crime, and on the retreat, another put in the vice. Glaive, oh guys, one by one. They do jump into that crosshair. Dupree will punish as much as he could.
It is the fact that they're showing that little respect, though, says a lot, right? Yeah, we'll just fight you. Yeah. Who are you again? We lost your number. You know, like... Why? Because there's a lot into this, right? In terms of just how long Glaive and Zip played with Dupree and Magisk and how much did they achieve together. You know the little tendencies, the way they like to... You know a little bit more about them in certain situations than they probably do.
Yeah. And not even that as well, just knowing that it's Zonic every time out.
True.
Glaive and Zip will be all too familiar with how he likes to call those shots. Oh, wow. Config's up to no good. Just straight up mid, and Magisk's none the wiser. Deleted from the server early. They're popping B. It's up to Apex, trying to be that predator into the site, and he's got nothing done. Absolutely zilch. It's Masuta again with impact. Vitality can count on him. 9 so far in this series, but he's made a round out of this one. Round 10, it's Masuta's. And Dupree cannot finish anything. Glaive this time is the one to beat him out. Bogdan's Law again puts AWP in Glaive's hands. And Farley will be working the rifle. Oh, ZywOo. And now only ZywOo. The AWP could work well with 10 HP. ZywOo to try and come up clutch. And he's not having any of it. We're not with that health. He knows who he's up against. And Vitality, through sheer will, throwing bodies into B. We'll leave with the round.
Yeah, just as well. Masuta, you're right. The impact that he has had in 2 crucial rounds, right? That Deagle round and then 3 players as he comes into the B bomb site. That is massive work from Masuda. This is what you want to see, right? He was the biggest question mark as far as the stats column would go for the team, but things are starting to look really good if he can continue to do this. We tie things up again here. You know what? Like, there's so many other overlaps here as well. Like, Config and Magis used to play together back in like the Dignitas days, right? They were together as a pairing. That's back when they kind of both like broke out. There were these 2 pairing of hyper-aggressive riflers. Yeah. And just the arc since then, you're having to go back to like the 2016, 2017s. But look at that again from Masuda. And the double swing here, right? Masuda's, they're going to let's swing together. They actually, Masuda ran on into a couple of bullets right there. So fortunate for Zaiwu to close that out after all of his hard work.
Yeah, and you want to talk, you know, if you're in your time machine, you can also remember that, I mean, people were begging for Config to Astralis when he was popping off on North. You know, who is this plucky young Dane popping heads? Now he finds himself in the jersey in 2022, and we find ourselves 5-5. Mirage continues to be rather inseparable between these two.
Yeah, well, they get a buy out of this Astralis behind that saved AWP. A couple rifles. A Deagle for Zipex is the biggest emission right now. Aggressive towards ramp is Glaive.
And ready for one. dupreeh to trade effectively. Keeps it 4 on either door. Config is flashed off, but the defense is ready. 3 leaning towards this to receive them as they do take a lot of space. A lot of liberties. What's Config up to?
Whoa.
Leaps into dupreeh. Takes control for a moment, and damage dealt to Apex. Softened up for that Deeg. Zipex didn't need the help. Still hits the headshot. And it's a man advantage for Astralis. A very tight ship they are running. Farley, bit too aggressive, not going to be punished for it. Initially, very susceptible to a spray. Now 15 HP, blames there. Zip is 2, and it's Zaiwu to finish. Vitality recover, 2v3, thanks to these two.
Wow, that is huge right there. They're running out to try and help because Farley's taking so much pressure right there, getting spammed. They drop that Molotov perfectly. He goes with the Extinguish. I think all the eyes are drawn. The step out from the Astralis players to punish. This is the immediate trade coming in from dupreeh. Config, the absolute madman pushing on through, but this is Zaiwu doing some great work from Tetris. And that is massive. Apex like that one a lot.
Oh, there is so much on the line here. More than a W in the column, folks. We got human beings, we got feelies. And this one, unfortunately, is destined for a quickie. Oh, I say that Config is changing the dialogue immediately. Catches Apex's journey. Double molly, Zipex safe from it. He's going to go unchecked. Masuda will do his due diligence. Rifle on short, tapped away at. Blame deterred, but they're in. And it's again Masuda who opens up the site. Somewhat of a site opener. And Zaiwu there to enable and facilitate a close. They're just going to be saving. Blame has an AK. And dupreeh would love an extra $600 gifted to him by Config mid-strafe. They will start to edge forward and ahead now. And Blame spotted, noted. I think you'll get a half-hearted hunt out of Zaiwu.
You're interested to see what the matchup's going to look like tomorrow as well, right? We get one of these 2 teams joining that 2-0 column to meet G2, Fours, and Ents, who are the 3 teams who just qualified. Well, not qualified, put themselves up in the 2-0 bucket, as it were. So one of these 2 names will join that, and then you can get even more crazy crossovers. Like, you get Vitality going up against G2. Obviously, you've got Xtaz now coaching G2 up against, you know, there's so much fun stuff to sink our teeth into here, but taking quite a decent lead right now, 7-5. 7 on the T-half here of Mirage, looking pretty good. And I think here that they have worked very hard at their Mirage or Vitality, right? Those 3 matchups in succession I was talking about. The Mouse game that they needed to kind of get out of that loss streak. But the 2 before that, a 16-13 versus Na'Vi and a 16-14 against FaZe. 2 very, very good Mirage teams. It showed that a lot has been put into this for the French-Danish mix.
Yeah, and a lot of the conversation was about if Masuda's there, Vitality surely got all the pieces they need, and he's right here at the top of the scoreboard in a must-win game for both of these squads. Masuda strafes out, baits the shot, confirms AWPing presence B.
Yeah, double AWPs here. Config's brought into one, so trying to look for some impact with the big green. Gets to be very versatile. Now, I would call it secondary AWPing. I was talking to Devilwort last night, and he used the term hobby AWPing, which is sometimes what it feels like. And when you get to play the AWP like that, you get to be a Randy Rick. You can do whatever you want. You know, you don't have tendencies. You're not really being studied. It comes on out, and it's difficult to deal with. So let's see if Config can find that impact.
I'll give you a Randy Rick, is that the fact that Apex has just called 7 successful T rounds against Glaive. I mean, this guy wasn't an in-game leader a couple of years ago, and now, with some of the Astralis pieces, he's called a game 1 round away from the win on T's side. Mirage here. Some serious ground covered. Nice turn from dupreeh. His back was turned as Glaive engaged, and still the frag found. Equalized now. Apex through. The smoke goes down. It's Blame. Magisk through. They've got 3 committed to the A site, and now with Farley and Blame gone, they can plant uncontested. 1 short.
Oh.
Disconnected from the pack, but Config still contributing. And Zipex too, all the way from jungle, long range for this retake. And it's just ZywOo. Config and Zip. He has that smoke, but does not want to spoil.
It's not planted for him right now.
Oh,
It's default plan,
Very
so
good point.
I don't know if he wants to fight them or let them in. Looks like he wants to fight.
Up and over. Oh, just looked away. Just looked away. And on the drop, the inaccuracy. He gets one. He gets them both. Vitality secure the 8th. And it's at the hands of ZywOo, no less.
Wow. How?
Just
He sees
looked away,
Zip. He's
Chad.
just fallen off the box as well. That's 2 kills in that round. The dupreeh frag, he was looking the wrong way. ZywOo had a chance to readjust right here. The trade not able to come in with that AWP. That is going to sting. That's 8 rounds right now for Vitality.
It's planted for default. And Zip has him in his sights and slips off a bit too much. On his plate, ZywOo clutches up, and he wants them to remember. The 8th has been secured. They get loud for that one. The 9th now on a silver platter, Chad.
Yeah, it's just this Blame F upgrade into the M4 to try and get some damage done. He's found the first. ZywOo back with 2.
He has just catapulted himself right back up to the top of the table. That Blame F rifle not going to have anything to say about this unless those others. Deagle, AK now. Deagle on Farley dancing and trifling with trouble. Apex happy to take him down. And yeah, there's nothing to be said about this one. Vitality's Mirage, a scary beast. Not one to be trifled with, as this will be 9. Blame to save the M4. 15 and 5, worth mentioning as well. Blame's been farming up quite the KD.
I'm just like looking back at all of these Vitality results as well on Mirage as part of that loss streak, and they're losing to some of the best teams in the world, right? Like we're talking G2, Heroic, formerly Gambit, right now known as Cloud9, Ents, couple of losses against FaZe, a loss against Na'Vi. In that loss streak, there's no slouches.
No.
They're all like top 10 teams in the world. So
And the results you can see getting gradually better.
Yeah.
It's like it starts at 16-4, 16-7, and now we're looking at 16-14s and overtimes, and that 1 win, as you highlighted, up against Mouse, just to get their feet here. Vitality getting to the major in a brutal affair up against the Mouse boys.
yeah, that was a rough one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, just knowing one of them wasn't going to make it.
Well, let's see how good this half can be. 10 is possible for Vitality right now. 1 more. Final rounds here, round number 15 of the half, and this time a different look. It's going to be an Apartments Palace pop, and it's just Glaive on the site right now.
Oh,
That's it, we're in.
Masuta's done it again. Just as easy as that, cracking open Glaive's head. And a late lurk mid still established. We get to see Magisk arrive late. Got to be careful of that. Oh, God, never mind. Apex with the drive-by. You blink and you miss it. Config's hobby has been cut short. On the AWP, yeah, that's the late mid from Magisk. Farley's got nothing to say about this one, but Zip and Blame starting to get a bit of a heater. Multi-frag from Zip. And Magisk down 2. It's the 2 of them that make it possible for a 6th, and that will soften the blow of an otherwise rather back and forth half.
Yeah, good stuff right there to get 1 on the way out the door here to at least give themselves 6. To be fair, you get the pistol, you're back in it, right? So this is still very, very close. You can see some smiles on the face, so the mood's still pretty good over there in the Astralis camp. But what is amazing to me is in this first half of play, Vitality only managed to get themselves 4 opening kills, 2 for dupreeh and 2 for Masuda, right? The rest of the opening kills went all in the favor of Astralis right there, and Vitality still win out the half in a 9-6 fashion.
What does that
good,
tell you?
Good trading and good space taking off your teammates' deaths. For example, like that round where they went into B and Masuda gets 3, they lost the opening exchange, but Masuda was trading
All the way in.
yeah, like, I was going to say fantastically. If you get 3, it's a little bit more than fantastically. That's more than he should be worth in that situation. I think the round as well, where dupreeh goes down top mid to Config in that aggressive exchange, and then Masuda comes out with 2 Deagle kills. That's another round that they didn't get the opening kill, but they were able to convert. And I continue to say the name of Masuda in those situations, right? So in the mid to late rounds or after the opening exchange, this is where Vitality looked very good.
It's totally in your interest, yet a desperately difficult balance to strike, where you want Masuda to be comfortable but not taking space.
Yeah.
Go figure. All right, pistols and a heavy lean from Astralis. Sides have swapped on the assault and 4 bodies committing out of the apartment. It's Masuta with dupreeh on the box though, and already Magisk has done some damage. Long range pre-arrival. Farley's back is turned, tagged up nicely. dupreeh with a dunk to finish, and oh, getting messy. Config's here. ZywOo will put him down after the double. Oh, ZywOo's putting everyone down. Another quick click. 2 bullets is all he's used. And that's 3! 3 bullets, 3 frags. ZywOo's in the server as he ascends to the top of the scoreboard.
Yeah, beautiful shots right there.
Bruh.
Any panic you thought you had has just been solved. ZywOo is here to play.
He just looks bemused, ready to get the next round underway, making sure he understands the game plan. This was Magisk's opener, and it really does soften the blow that these guys have to deal with. And this second shot, let me see that again. Oish. And then number 3, equally as gorgeous. Config's gonna meet ZywOo quickly, very early into the minute 55. 10 seconds off the clock, and Config's gone, clocking out himself.
Yeah, right now, Blame needs somebody else to join him on the scoreboard here, and maybe not even join him on the scoreboard, because a couple of the kills he got was, you know, when he had that hero M4 and he was saving it, so they were more exits. But they need some impact to step on up here, so...
Nicely done. Yeah. Farley's at least stemmed the bleed.
It's a scalp. Let's see. I don't think they'll be able to get their hands onto that M4. If they want to hang around, they might just be destined for death. ZywOo looking for more.
Yeah, he's got the perfect angle for this, and Farley's not going to have anything to say about that.
The Eeks. You can see he's just out here farming heads. Everybody's favorite kills. Even gets the M4 back over in the hands. So dupreeh gets a nice little upgrade for an MP9, and final player to find.
1 through the floor, 1 to the skull, and there we have it. So yeah, they preserve as many rifles as they possibly could. A FAMAS and 2 M4 as they reach 11. Now you said, sure, after a 9-6 half, you win the pistol. Well, what happens if you don't?
Yeah.
You're going to be staring into a rather bleak outlook coming into this T side, no less. I mean, I cannot reiterate enough that this 9-round T haul is going to be echoing into the second half.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficult to replicate, because you think about the rounds where maybe Masuta had some bangers of entries or there were clutches to close. Are Astralis going to be able to do the same, or do we need to turn to some aggression? Some players of the in-game leader, a Glaive here, looking to take a lot of mid-control early and straight up towards Chair. Does have some space, can apply pressure with presence alone, and Apex making no secret of his hidey hole. So some early default map presence here. Blame in through the underpass. Glaive, as mentioned, over towards Che. You've got over towards top mid. You have Farley as well, and on the extremities, Zip and Config hoping to work a pick or two. And on the jump, head spotted, Masuta noted, and Zip just feigning a little bit more aggression here to see if they can force them to use that utility. Part of the game.
I know it didn't fool you, it fooled me. I felt for his cheeky game there. A lot of steps and a bit of a shot.
Didn't fool Masuta either, who held on to his smoke quite stoically. So still will have that in case the re-initiation comes. And the X-ray, you can see the crosshair placement is in the right spot, but prepared for the close fight. Well, Glaive will catch a slither of information.
Look at Masuta's confidence on this. So,
well, this is huge. This is insane. They know it's A now.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but that he could even flank mid if he's really brave. From Palace, from Connector, all attention drawn, and ZywOo's very quick on his draw. Config comes out of the Palace. He's paranoid about the flank. He knows it was left open. And Masuta is going through T-spawn as it stands. Glaive catches dupreeh short. Apex stuck between 2 ideas, and Astralis are farming. There's only 2 left. Masuta, good chance for 1. Doesn't choose to discipline, but still punishes. Config's gone. 2-on-2 establish, more impact felt by Masuta, and they have planted for Connector. Okay, can't get across. A risky round, and it nearly fell apart there. 2v4 goes 2v2. Astralis, though, on the board.
Yeah, they had to hit those shots on the cross, right? Because you could see where the bomb was planted on the other side of triple. If they were able to slip into the site. And you think that push from Masuta should have been it all, right? But they were very keen to fight. Like, that fight from Glaive's okay, but continuing to fight, yeah, giving up a kill or two too many right there, not allowing the flank to come on in. They can get out 2 rifles, a couple of digs, a 5-7 light on this. Astralis can start working their way back into this game now.
Yeah, they're definitely in a prime position to close this gap. Silence falls across the server. Not a peep out of this T side. Three smokes is all they have, Chad.
I think trying to identify what they're up against here. So the most they have to note right now is a smoke B and a smoke connector. Otherwise, it's been pretty barren across the map from the CT defense. So could there be an AWP somehow? Where is there rifle stacks? What are we dealing with here? And just through this utility alone, the window smoke connector, the mid presence, they've actually drawn out the rotation. Vitality have gambled over towards A completely. They've foregone this B bomb site, and as the utility starts to ring on out towards the other side of the map, it's likely to see them just go for a save in this situation. There's really no way back on in, so we might get a unicorn round here.
Can we highlight that Farley smoke as well? Just an underhand in the apartments. You can see what it obscures that Magisk angle he was hitting on that pistol, but that's probably the most exciting thing we have to say about this round.
Yeah, simple stuff, and just through positioning alone here. So I'm not sure what Astralis saw that made them go for B. It could have just been a call of, hey, let's finish B after we feign some mid control. Either way, it can't work out better for Glaive with a call like this. Just waltzes on in, gets the bomb on down. All five going to be able to stay alive. This is nice because they don't have a bank to work with. But on the other side, Vitality will get to have a second go of it with all of these weapons that they're holding onto here. And if you're Astralis, you didn't really identify what was on the other side. So you do have that question mark of exactly what came out to play. You'd see dupreeh didn't even shoot the Deagle, right? He still has all the reserve ammo, didn't even shoot a bullet. So that would be the same for the majority of their members on Vitality here. And in the first half, with the save Scout and the save Deagles, Astralis were able to pull a round out, right? And this is a bit more potent of one of these scenarios here. So if Astralis now want to go a bit quicker, right? The thing is, you might, here you go, you're getting your highlight.
Thank you very much. Yeah, even I could get that lineup.
There you go, easy one. You wonder now, do you run the same round if you're Astralis? Because you don't actually know what was on the other side, you just know they saved. So if they saved, what did they save? Do we go fast and risk it, or do we go slow and be methodical about it again?
Oh, this has got some pace, and they're both here. Good God, they could boost. Blame could be in prime position. He's already got across to Delpan. I mean, maybe Glaive unawares. Blame likely, unbeknownst to him, has this boost established. But there's a lot of bloodshed about to go down in mid here.
If they could just... Oh, is Masuda going clear?
He might.
It's not...
He doesn't, and that's Blame with a huge opening. One of the rifles falls. Masuta, the prime Masuta, as he currently is, concedes his 14th. Apex got a lot of responsibility, but is allowed to get to triple. Never mind, takedown. Zip
That's
confirms the bomb and gets a fresh mag. Two more on his plate. Farley spotted Tetris. He's got no support other than the Deagles of dupreeh and Zywoo.
They got the bomb. They're able to get on out right now. Minute on the clock. Plenty of time to regather. Zywoo can get himself a rifle. Blame is going to try and take some space over towards B, and the closest responder will have to be dupreeh, who's just called mid-clear. Blame should be in. He should be able to fortify this bomb site, but it's going to be a difficult site to hold on to. All three players of Vitality now have rifles.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a conundrum for Apex. He knows it's likely that someone already into B is kitchen available to him, and oh, dupreeh. Oh, spotted out. Knows it's bench. Knows it's Farley in the app. They've worked it out. Good shots out of Apex, and he nearly gets the second astray from Glaive. He's alive and kicking, and now Glaive to come up clutch in the one-on-one. He's done well so far. Called a good game, but Zywoo's got another one. Another clutch out of Zywoo.
The pressure that Apex just applied all across the map is insane. The fights that he was persistent in taking towards Tetris. He dropped that bomb. He flustered Astralis. He forced them back. And just there, he doesn't care. He's jumping out the window. He's just taking fights. You can see a lot of other players would be very methodical in those type of scenarios. But Apex is the type of guy just to jump on out and get in your face. Look at this. He doesn't care. Just jumping on straight through. Two massive kills for him here to set them up for this one-on-one situation. And back and forth we go again.
Yeah, that's heavy impact fragging out of Apex. Zywoo with nice move to get himself up and over, and it's not over yet. A missed shot out of the Farley AWP, and now he's got a face full of lead. The aggression out of Magisk has enabled a 4v3 very early doors. We've got 90 seconds and a two-man frag find from the boys of Vitality. Zywoo still not giving up mid.
Yeah, the fact he's hanging around shows so much confidence here. They just want to take these fights, and he continues to take some glances, has a lot of utility to work with, but just wants to find the fight.
He's got dupreeh fully ensuring him. He knows he can just sit here, jiggle until the cows come home. And here they come. You've got nothing. You have to take this duel, but there's going to be two of them, three of them taking that fight. Zywoo needs no help as he gets up to 20.
They're accounting for everything here. Molotov there towards the underpass just to make sure that no push or pressure can come behind. Now they can slink back and play a 2-2 setup, knowing that they have this two-man advantage here. Total up into the sights, 50 seconds remaining. Sure, there's going to be a couple of gaps, but you have the bodies to just set up very, very tight crossfires. They have to walk into them.
It's the responsibility of ZywOo, and paces himself nicely. Second frag of the round. And Blame F left to his own devices with 25 seconds. He's got no hope of trying to crack into the site and getting that bomb down.
Yeah, it looks like it might just be a save here, starting to backpedal as well over towards the TV room. So 13 now secured for Vitality, and the issue is that was a buy out of Astralis, right? They've gone all in for that. Lost bonus. Yeah, it's light on. We're towards the bottom of the barrel here.
But this is the kind of plays, you know, you weren't seeing so much of for dupreeh and the Magisk when they weren't being shouted at by Apex. Just immediately commanding control of this, just setting ZywOo up to top of middle.
They're really in the pressure cooker right now, Astralis, right? Because this saved AK is probably the best thing that they have to wield here. Config could buy on in with an AK of his own with head armor, but the rest are roughly 1900, right? So if you were to save in this environment right now, it's still not going to look great because Blame doesn't get the loss bonus, right? The next round's only 2400. It's still going to be some emissions here. So looks like they're going all in. You can see a MAC-10 brought up for Glaive, a Galil in the hands of Config here. Some pistols being upgraded in for the likes of Farley and Zip. So, yeah, this is really it for Astralis. If they lose this one, next round, they'll have to take a save, and that should be 15 secured for Vitality before the buy can come out again. Astralis need to convert this round, or the game is basically done.
Yeah, but look at what they've got to work with. I mean, not only have you just outlined the stakes, but now I'll outline the weaponry. You've got Galil's MAC-10, Tech 9s, and that Blame F save. See if he can continue to be their highest fragger. Now, when it matters most, we need impact out of Blame.
3 players without head armor here as well. This is going to be rough.
Those M4s were happy to pop the cherry tomatoes. Nice nade, actually, to soften the blow. Good start with the tag. ZywOo caught on the ladder on the way out. So keeping it level and already a lot of space. You've got Sandwich already for Config. Magisk has got some support. Apex completely caught out, flashed, executed, and Astralis are showing signs of life when they needed to. Gap, push,
okay.
find them, what? Both fall to the Masuta push. He has thrown caution to the wind at a crucial juncture, and now the bomb lies in his control. Even the crossfire, look how mean that is as Magisk slots into dark. The pressure on Blame to close, and even dupreeh sliding into CT to ensure all of the avenues are covered off. How do you get out of this one? Info, dupreeh goes both ways. Blame may not anticipate this. He's not expecting it. Takes the same spot they've already cleared. Config, however, will retrieve the bomb, or at least enable the possibility. Back turn, both line up. Magisk has secured 14. And Apex, he knows exactly what that indicates. They are close. They're within touching distance of taking down Astralis after taking 3 of their men.
Oof, this could be a hefty victory right here. Might set alight a bit of a Mirage win streak. Could be 2 on the trot right here for Vitality after this one. And this was crazy. I cannot believe the disrespect on that smoke right there. Sure, Mad just hangs him out to dry, right? But he plays it safe, gets it done. The final 2 kills are his.
And we're off again into the mid realm. Happy to throw aggression into it, and you're going to have nothing, absolutely nothing to enjoy this round. Instead, the Danes have to swallow their pride and maybe even swallow a nade or 2. It is Deagles, Glocks, and a vicious Vitality side here out to play tonight.
I spoke about the opening kills in the first half. I haven't been keeping track here in the second, but I'd say Vitality are mauling them in that department. It just feels like they've been taking so many fights and so much initiative. And you know what is a luxury? I know that ZywOo only got 1 kill in that previous round, but the fact that you have ZywOo playing under dark on A, like it almost it doesn't feel like it should make any sense. But look at this, he's juggling guns in the open mid right now. ZywOo, what are you up to?
Monkey's getting away with it as well, trying to make sure nothing can be celebrated. Blame has flipped the script with a couple of Deag headshots. Config presented an opportunity to force a clutch, and now Blame with one of his own. Trajectory betrays, but not allowed to get anything more done. I can't believe it already. Vitality with 7 opportunities. 7. To take this one home and to win the battle for pride between these rosters at the major, no less. Blaine with a couple of good shots, but nothing more than stat padding.
Yeah, too little too late really in that regard, but good damage nonetheless. They can get the buy back through to get those 7 consecutive required to get us to overtime. Apex aggressive again, jumps on out the window here. Glaive can be flashed off top mid.
No early underpass to punish this regular drop out of the window. I say that, Blame is there, and the smoke is too. Doesn't stop him. Apex down,
Whoa.
a leg shot through the smoke. No one has seen their opponent so far here in round 24. And dupreeh versus Glaive. A brand new tale.
Gets one back, draws them back into the 4-on-4 situation, and the Zipex damage unconfirmed. They won't know that they legged him on through the smoke there, so going for another aggressive up and over, clamping down on mid. All the CTs are here. Everybody's here.
Yeah,
Connector, window, short boost. They're locking this down.
Config just got across, but they get a flash of info. Now Zywoo has Config locked. Another flash of Config. They're regrouping A. Everything indicates still a 2-2 split. It's going to be Magisk and Zywoo keeping him at arm's length, pre-aiming the jump back across, and he does catch it. Config down. Just Farley and Zipex here, but Vitality for a convincing win. It's Farley, the healthiest of the two. Would really have to pull up his socks here. Zip in support. And Farley caught out a timing from Magisk, and there you have it, 16-8. And that is going to feel damn good. This blend of Dane and French royalty has taken Counter-Strike by storm, and it seems to have hit their peak at the right time. Takes down former teammates, puts them into the 1-1 category, and now 2-0 red carpet rolled out for the next stage of competition. 3 opportunities, best of 3s. Vitality set for the next stage now.
Yeah, good time to get your act together as well, especially on a map like Mirage, right? So great victory.